Hey y'all, hope y'all's day is going good. It's your girl Mary Marie here, and today is officially the first day of my podcast. And now, a lot of people didn't even know that I was going to be doing this podcast. It was a surprise to some people, but some people knew about it. But today, I just felt like today was going to be the perfect day to express what I want to talk about. So, which is why we're going to get into it today. And so, with that being said, this is not just any podcast. This is the Mary Marie podcast. So, let's get into it. So, today's topic for today is going to involve something really dear to my heart, because it took me a while to even get to this point. I'm talking about self-love. I feel like everyone should have self-love, because if you don't love yourself, can you really love someone else? Like, I feel like everyone should take the time to not only get to know themselves, but have an understanding and more love for yourself as well. Because if you're so quick to move on and like jump into relationships or friendships, do you really know what to expect? You should always, and I truly mean always, have an understanding for yourself and know your self-worth. Because honestly, I would have to say that's where I messed up at in part of my life. Like, I was so quick to focus on everyone else, help them out, see what they need, make sure they're good. But I never took time to see if I was good, if that makes sense. Like, I never stopped to make sure, like, am I okay? Like, do I need anything? Am I good? It was always, let me see how this person's doing. Let me make sure they're good. I never took the time to see where I was, not only physically, but mentally. And I think that's where a lot of people get stuck at. Like, they get the physical part, but they never stop and think how they are mentally. And when you don't know where you are mentally, it is time that you take a break and just pause everything. Like, and I truly mean take a pause and see where you are. Like, okay, is this normal? Should I be feeling this way? Always take time and see where you are. If you feel like you're down, going down the wrong path, stop whatever you're doing. Take time to yourself, whether that's take a break off social media, going outside, enjoying nature, or just like taking a mental health break, which I feel like a lot of people should be willing to do, because there's nothing wrong with taking a break for yourself. Because if you're so quick to worry about others, you're never going to have time for yourself. And I feel like having time for yourself is important, no matter the situation. Everyone should be able to have time to themselves. You can still have time for others. You can still spend time with others. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, you should also have time for yourself. Because otherwise, you're going to lose yourself. And it's important to not do that, because again, I've been down that path before. I've lost myself before. It is not a good feeling. And I am so thankful that I was able to take myself out of that situation. I took a break from social media. I took a break from people. And I focused on myself, and honestly, I learned so much about myself, y'all. I learned so much. Like, here's what I've learned. I've learned that I'm very down to earth. Like, I'm just so chill. I just love peace. And I have this love for like water, anything water related, like the ocean, whether it's a pool, a fountain. I love fountains. Fountains are just so beautiful to me that I even got myself a little fountain. Like, fountains are just so calm and peaceful. It's a part of nature, and that's one thing I found out that I love. Anything peaceful, I love. Anything like the sky, I love the sky, especially when it's like either blue or the sunset comes and you see like this pink and orange pop out. It's just so beautiful to me. And let me just break it down one more time. The reason why I felt that this topic was so heavy on my heart, self-love, is because if I didn't go down this path, if I didn't go down this journey to take time to understand where I'm at, and better yet, who I am as a person, I felt like I wasn't going to be able to express that to someone if I ever got a partner. I felt like I wouldn't have been able to showcase love or emotions because I was too focused on other people that I never took the time to showcase love and emotions to myself. Like, I did not understand my own emotions, and that's where my downfall was. But I'm at a better point and better part of my life now. And now that I have those emotions, I'm taking my time to see things differently. I've already seen things differently before, but it feels like the older I get, the more I'm seeing it differently, but in a better light, if that makes sense. And I feel like everybody should give that a try, you know? Take a break from social medias, go outside, just enjoy life. Understand who you are as a person. Get a better mental note of where you are and where you want to see yourself before you see yourself with someone else, or before someone else gives their point of view of who you are. That's another thing I want to break down. No one else can give an opinion or a perspective on you if they don't truly know who you are as a person. A person can say whatever they want, but if that's not who you truly are as a person, as what they say that they think you are, that opinion doesn't matter. What matters is who you are and who you know who you are as a person. Not what other people are saying, but what you truly know. Always keep that in mind. What you know deep down in your heart about yourself matters. Who you know who you are as a person matters. Only you and God know who you are as a person, and no one else can take that away from you. Always keep that in mind and love yourself no matter what. Now, this next thing I want to talk about is, honestly, be honest, I was debating on if I want to talk about it, but I want to talk about, do I want to talk about it? Yeah, we can talk about it. I want to talk about my self journey for a little bit, and then we'll get on the topic of relationships. I feel like self journey, I started this in May of 2022. And honestly, towards around that time, it was like a hard place in my life. And so I felt like I just wanted to start over. Like, I wanted to restart and refresh this new part of my life. because I felt like if I kept going, I wasn't going to be happy. And so I restarted, refreshed, and started this journey. Honestly, this journey has not been all rainbows and sunshines. I'm gonna be honest, it has not. But it has taught me that I have to learn to accept that not everything is gonna go the way I expected. There's always gonna be ups and downs, and I have to learn to accept that because it's a part of life. It's part of our journey. It's what makes us learn and grow as a person. And that's one thing I took time to understand, because I would get stressed out so easily that I would have to like try my hardest to stop whatever I'm doing so I could like calm down and take a moment to breathe. Because before then, even when I was stressed, I would keep going. And that wasn't good, y'all. That was not good for my sake. And so I finally learned that if something doesn't go well, it's okay. Always try again or do better next time. Everything's not always going to go great. Sometimes we're going to have a loss, and that's okay. But another thing is, and I feel like I'm not the only one who's done this before, don't overwork yourself and don't push yourself to a limit that you're not ready for. I feel like a lot of us get so caught up that we overwork ourselves because we want to prove a point to ourselves that we can do this. But my question is, and I want everybody to think about this question when I ask this: how many times or how much more can we push ourselves and overwork ourselves till we burn out, until we can't even fulfill our dreams or what we're trying to succeed? You get what I'm saying? I feel like you can reach your goal. You can succeed what you want to reach in your part of life. But you also need to take time and take a break. It is okay to take a break. You don't want to overwork yourself, because if you overwork yourself, you're not going to be prepared for what's next. You will not be prepared for what's next, which is why you should never overwork yourself, because then you're going to be too tired, and then the stress is going to come in. Like, it's okay to prove a point to yourself that you can do this, but at the same time, as you're proving that point, don't be like, okay, I did this, but I don't feel like it's enough. I feel like I need to keep going all at the same time. No. This is what you should do. You can either take this advice or you don't. That's okay. But here's my suggestion. Okay. So whatever you're working on in your life, jot it down. Write a little mental note what you want to do. And another note of how you want to get there. You have time to get there. There's 12 months, y'all. There's 12 months in a year. You don't gotta do this in 1 week. You can plan this out accordingly of where you want to start and how you want to get there. But don't overwork yourself when you have time to get there. Just plan it out accordingly, because you can do it. I believe in y'all. It'll all work out. Just take your time and don't overwork yourself to the point where you can't do anything anymore. Okay? Now, this next topic is relationships. Now, there's not that much I have to say about relationships because I don't really talk about relationships like that. But I will say that relationships are a good factor in your life. Like it's another journey in your life. But again, I don't know too much about it. But the only thing I will say is just take your time. Don't rush into it. Never rush into a relationship because you never know what the outcome would be. And when you do find that someone, don't let anything negative affect what y'all have going on. And I truly mean that. When you find the one that you truly love, don't let any negative outcome, aspect, or comments affect what you have going on. Don't let another person try to ruin your relationship if they don't know what goes on in your relationship. Does that make sense? Only you and that person knows what's going on. So therefore, no one else should have any opinions on your relationship. Only you two do, because y'all know what's going on. And if you truly love each other, you wouldn't let nothing, anything, or anybody ruin that. And I feel like that's where most people go wrong. They let other people express like their opinions in their relationship, and that's not okay. Because it's not that other person's relationship. It's yours. And if that relationship truly means something to you, don't let what someone else says affect it. Always protect your relationships, no doubt about it. You love who you love. Okay? Keep that in mind. And I'll say it again. You love who you love. And that's all that matters. Not what they say. But what matters to you is who you love and who you want to be with. Nobody can change that. Because at the end of the day, it's what you want. It's what makes you happy. Okay? Whatever makes you happy, you just keep that in mind. You focus on that. You stay on that. Okay? That's all I gotta say about relationships. I don't have too much to say about it because, again, I can't really put opinions on relationships because it's just, that's an interesting topic to talk about, all right? Now, another thing I want to say is, because honestly, y'all, there's like so many topics I could talk about, but I think for the next episode, or before the next episode airs out, I'm gonna let y'all pick the next topics. And the next topics could be about anything. And who knows, might be special guests on the podcast where I get to let y'all discuss whatever's on your mind and what you want to talk about. Because I want people to feel comfortable with these podcasts, if that makes sense. I want people to be able to not only hear what I'm discussing, but I want people to keep mental notes of what's being discussed, because I feel like people are going through this at this moment, and I feel like they need to hear this. So that is why I'm starting these podcasts, because I feel like everybody should be able to have their own opinions, emotions, and have a sit down. Because you never know what a person's going through, which is why I feel like these topics are important. Because it can be very helpful to someone out there. And so I don't mind doing these podcasts because, again, I feel comfortable doing this. It's very helpful, and it's like a relief where I get to express myself, but also help another person who's going through the same thing. And so, with that being said, yeah, I might do a poll or a little community tab asking what topics y'all would like to see. And I will also be seeing who would love to be on the podcast, so y'all can hear other people's point of views. And yeah, I feel like this is going to be really exciting. I hope y'all enjoyed this first podcast. I feel like I did all right. But the second episode, I feel like that one's really going to get deep and we're going to get more into depth. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next episode of this podcast. And remember, this is not just any podcast. This is the Miriam Marie podcast, baby. Okay, get into it. It's the Miriam Marie podcast. Keep that in mind. With that being said, I'm out, y'all. Stay happy, enjoy life, live life the best way you can. And I'm out. Bye, y'all. Stay blessed.